guys, welcome back to our channel. This is Janvi
This is Smeet.
and welcome to Brad's Learning Law.
This is the second part of Manusmriti where we talk about Manusmriti, women, and casteism. We are going to start with the women part, and we have been researching on Manusmriti for a while now. And what we can say strongly is that this book was never a rule book, but more of a recommendatory nature because the rule book can never have so many inconsistencies along with it. Anyone ever tries to read the book, the first thing they'll notice is how inconsistent the book is throughout its text, and that is why it was never a rule book but of a recommendatory nature. For instance, one of the verses say that women are supposed to be worshipped by her husband and vice versa.
We are going to talk about the actual women's slander which has been done in the book and shush. So, we'll start with how there was a verse, like verse 5.148 said, a girl obeys her dad, then her husband, and then when he dies, her sons. Like, she's never allowed to be independent. Like, why? And then it gets worse. Like, even if the husband's broke, cheating, no personality, and still you have to, the girl is supposed to worship him and as a god, and like no accountability. Why? And apparently women are born seductress who'll ruin a learned man, and like, sir, that's a you problem. And you know how your guy friends or how your friends say ki ja bartan dho, ghar sambhal, ye sab, it's written in the book. Like, a woman's place is in the kitchen, she's supposed to take care of her utensils and this and that, and that is so, like,
So that is why we say it is of a recommendatory nature because there are so many inconsistencies along with it. Where in the same text the book says that women should be worshipped by her brother-in-law, husbands, fathers, and brothers. At the same time, it also says all the things Janvi's just said. So there are too many differences in the same value system.
give me the mic. Sorry. There was another rule. It said that if the husband dies, like, she cannot even say another man's name. Like, अगर उसे move on करना होगा तो, huh? And like, why?
People back then had bigger
And
problems like
this
survival.
is just no. She can't even say another man's name and has to survive on flowers and roots. And this is the exact logic they use later to justify sati. And that's dark.
I don't know why I'm defending this. I'm not defending it, but at the same time,
You have to defend it.
Sati was practiced by royals. Sati was not practiced by the lower caste.
They justified it using whatever.
No, we don't know how they justified. I'm just gonna look bad in this video. Okay, at this point.
Exactly, you're a guy.
Moving on.
Yeah. Do you think this is the reason why they Ambedkar burned the book? Well, it is one of the reasons technically.
It is one of the reasons, but I think the topmost reason was about caste.
I think it's both gender inequality and casteism.
If I have to put it chronologically, caste, women, and
People will attack you if you say caste, woman.
but why? We are talking about the reasons why they burned the book. So the topmost reason, caste. If we don't know, now this is all a speculation. That's the point.
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel.
Welcome back to Janvi's channel. The outfit chain was a result of technical failures multiple times that resulted in no audio, technical glitches that we tried recording multiple times. So here we are a few days later. Moving on to the part where much of the hate is involved around the book, that is caste. So when you read the casteism part from the book, even when we try to see the light around it, the verses are in there are just dark all around. And even if it was not a rule book and of a recommendatory nature, we cannot ignore these things are written in there. One of the verses suggests that the hierarchy was built around, as an anecdote, the hierarchy was built around the body parts of human beings. For example, the Brahmins are from the head or from the mouth, the Kshatriya are from the arms, because which was like the kings or the army generals, and then the Vaishya from the thighs and Shudras from the feet. Coming on to the, again a controversial and inconsistent part of the book when it comes to casteism is the book says there are only four varnas, and the people who don't belong in these four varnas do not belong in a human civilization.
So, a Brahmin's name should sound auspicious, and a Shudra should denote something contemptible. Even your name encodes your rank here, like back in the days. Let's go to graded inequality. Basically, where Ambedkar's whole diagnosis of the Manusmriti was that it wasn't just inequality, it was graded inequality. And every group except the very bottom has someone below them to look down to, which kills the solidarity, and nobody at the bottom can organize because everyone's invested in the rung beneath them. And that's the design flaw Smith should name, and it's exactly how class works now. The middle class polices the poor instead uniting with them. So basically how casteism has been evolved to classism in the modern society.
So again coming back to the inconsistent part, this is where the book is really inconsistent, and where people are led to believe back in the day where caste was result of your karma, but then the book strictly suggests that the caste was a result of where you're born. So the caste was derived from your birth, and basically Shudras, if you are a born Shudra, you are of a permanent service.
How merit is the new dharma. Like back then, your station was just justified by your karma or dharma, but you deserved your, just call it rank and not rank, because. And but today it's justified by merit and how much hard work you do. Like, you must have seen that show Lockup, where Ashley Grover's wife made a statement that गरीब का that गरीब का बेटा गरीब होता है, अमीर का बेटा अमीर होता है, and which is at some point true, because that's how the society has been working since years now. And it's like a moral story that makes inequality feel earned rather than inherited. So dharma didn't just evolve, it got an
MBA, as Janvi suggests. So this is where we connect Manusmriti to the modern times, as I believe even though we have eradicated caste from majority part of the India, although it exists in some rural areas, that it is hard for government and for the people to get in there where there are no internet connections, and it's just out of reach because how diverse the country is and how geographically sort of difficult the country is. I believe that caste has evolved into a class in a way where, although back in the, as the Manusmriti suggests, back in the day the hierarchy was built in by birth, today it is built in by caste. So if you are born in a financially stable family and you have good parents and everything, you already belong to a certain class, rather than if, let's just say, you are born from a financial family and the things are not so great, and your parents have resulted in, for your upbringing, of course, have resulted in some low graded jobs. As awkward as it is, as the Manusmriti suggested that there was a built-in hierarchy and the upper class would not share the table with the lower class people, I think that still exists in as a form of class in today's day and age. For example, the people who are born in certain upper hierarchy, who are just filthy rich, won't share the table with people, for example, who collects garbage and who does sort of a delivery work and all that. Even though this is not this is clearly not the ideal way to live, but this is practical, this is how it is. And it is not just because of the built-in class, this also leads to the way they are brought up, the way the manners are, and the core
belief is basically that you are like, pehle you were born with it, so you have to live with it, and now you have to earn it. You have to earn your rank.
So although we have eradicated caste for most of the part in the country, I don't think we can ever eradicate class. And class is just not the Indian concept, it is how the modern economy works. Class will always exist, even though people can get into upper class by working hard or being born in royalty, but that's how the sad reality of society is, of today's economical world is basically.
So basically, capitalism is commodified the hierarchy, and rather than dissolving it, the graded ranking got absorbed into markets instead of erased by them. And Manusmriti didn't just invent inequality, it invented a system that makes inequality feel natural and permanent. Basically, it has normalized
Nahi,
everything.
nahi. Manusmriti didn't do that. You
I
cannot
mean,
say
old
that.
scriptures and the classes, the casteism has been derived from Manusmriti.
But although the caste was derived, let's just say from Manusmriti, although we don't know, be it Manusmriti or not, class is always going to have a place in the society. Regardless.
So that's it for today's topic, this month's topic at this point, because we took a month to finish this whole fucking chapter.
That is on me. That is on me.
Yeah, that is on him, not me. He was going and running away to Palghar again and again. Thank you for watching. If you like it, like, share, subscribe. Yay!